Welcome to Tomorrow Unveiled, the show where we dive deep into the future today. This week, we're talking about getting truly strapped in. A fascinating shift in wearable tech that goes far beyond, just counting steps. Our research team has uncovered what looks like a pivotal movement towards genuine human-computer integration. We're going to explore the biggest launches and breakthroughs from just the past week, uncover some maybe surprising applications, and really grapple with the implications of technology becoming such an intimate part of us.
Yeah, what's really compelling here is how the whole landscape of wearable tech is, well, fundamentally transforming. We're seeing this move away from devices that just sort of passively log data
Right.
to a new generation defined by active, intelligent human-computer integration. It's not just about new gadgets. It's more like technology becoming an almost invisible, proactive layer of our daily environment.
Okay, so let's jump right into it then. A major headline from the insights our team gathered points to what can really only be called the AI glasses war. Top global tech giants are now battling for, well, what some call the prime real estate on the human body.
Yeah.
Your face.
Absolutely. It's the next frontier, it seems.
So kicking off this contest, we saw Meta, working with Oakley, actually launch their Oakley Meta HSDN AI glasses. These aren't just like a style upgrade. The analysis our team did clearly shows they're zeroing in on a premium active lifestyle demographic, athletes specifically.
And if you zoom out a bit, Meta's play here, it really expands its footprint into those high-performance segments. It's about solidifying their vision for a multi-brand connected eyewear category and deepening user engagement with their social platforms by making the tech just seamlessly part of whatever you're doing.
And the specs themselves, they really tell a story of like deliberate improvement. We're talking 3K Ultra HD video capture.
Which is a big leap.
Yeah, a significant leap, and an impressive 8-hour battery life for typical use.
That's double.
Exactly, double their previous models, which, directly addresses a major hurdle for wearing these things all day.
Sure does.
And it's all powered by a Qualcomm Snapdragon AR1 Gen 1 platform optimized for on-device AI.
Right. Which kind of begs the question, beyond the raw specs, what's the core value proposition here?
Good question.
And it seems to be the AI itself, primarily centered around that voice first, hey, meta command. This lets you do contextual queries, hands-free control. It turns the glasses into an ambient AI assistant that's, deeply woven into your environment and your social interactions.
So like asking about a building you're looking at.
Exactly. Or translating a sign in real time just by asking, hands-free.
Okay, interesting. Now, hot on Meta's heels, Xiaomi unveiled its own AI glasses. But this isn't just a standalone product for them, right?
Yeah.
It's a central piece of their big human XCar X home ecosystem strategy.
Yes, and this is where it gets genuinely intriguing. They're positioning these glasses as a kind of portable control interface for this huge network of their connected devices.
A key distinction there, then.
Oh, definitely. Xiaomi's strategic objective seems fundamentally different. While Meta's leveraging its software, its social graph.
Right. Xiaomi is all about hardware ecosystem lock-in. They want to build this sticky, interconnected physical environment where the glasses are your premium control hub.
Gotcha. And the data our team looked at shows competitive specs here, too. A 12 MP camera for 2K video, and even slightly better, market-leading 8.6-hour battery life.
A nose ahead there.
Yeah, but the standout hardware feature, electrochromic lenses.
The tint-changing one.
Exactly, letting you change the tint on command. That's a level of versatility we haven't really seen consistently in this space yet.
And it really highlights that crucial divergence in platform strategies, doesn't it?
It does?
Both companies, though, are betting on ambient assistance for now, not full-blown augmented reality.
Right, keeping it simpler for now.
Exactly. They seem to be prioritizing all-day wearability and, importantly, social acceptance, trying to tackle those non-technical barriers first. It feels like a calculated strategic move based on what consumers are actually ready for today. That makes sense. Okay, so while AI glasses are certainly stealing the spotlight, our analysis also revealed some breakthroughs in other areas, things that are profoundly changing how we interact with tech and maybe even our own bodies.
Yeah, absolutely. A truly significant development came out of China just this week. A research team announced the successful completion of the world's first interventional brain-computer interface experiment, a BCI experiment on a human patient.
Okay, let's unpack that. Interventional BCI. What makes that different?
Well, the key thing is it's dramatically less invasive than, say, traditional brain surgery approaches to BCIs we've heard about.
So less risky.
Much. Interventional here means it involves guiding a stent-based electrode through blood vessels directly to the target area in the brain.
Wow, okay, through blood vessels.
Exactly, which, as you said, dramatically reduces surgical risk and should shorten recovery time. It makes the whole approach potentially much more accessible.
And the outcome.
Quite remarkable, based on the reports. The system successfully restored significant motor function in a 67-year-old patient who was paralyzed by a stroke.
Really? Like what kind of function?
Allowed them to perform daily tasks again, like grasping objects. It really underscores this strategic focus maybe on clinical pragmatism, meaning aiming for immediate medical applications that have a widespread clinical impact. It's about restoring real function relatively quickly. Less sci-fi, more practical help right now.
That's incredible. Okay, so moving away from the brain, our research team also looked at how haptics are evolving, touch feedback.
Right.
There's a company called Palm Plug, and they're commercializing what they call instructive haptic wearables.
Instructive haptics. It sounds like more than just a buzz on your wrist.
Exactly. Far beyond simple vibrations. The information suggests it involves really sophisticated precision finger tracking, rich tactile feedback, and even subtle muscle stimulation. The goal is to actively guide users, either for learning a new skill or for rehabilitation.
So almost like a virtual hand guiding your own hand.
That's a good way to put it. Helping you learn a new movement or maybe recover dexterity after an injury.
Fascinating.
And taking that even further, one research team in Japan showcased something called a capsule interface. It uses wearable muscle sensors to capture a user's entire motion and force.
The whole body's movement.
Apparently so. And it lets them remotely teleport their movements to control a robot in real time.
Wow. True immersive telepresence then.
Yeah, allowing a user to control a robot just by moving their own body. Imagine the possibilities for remote work in hazardous places or even surgery perhaps.
The potential is huge there.
And finally, on the sensing front, our analysis highlighted this really powerful shift, moving from just basic tracking.
Step counting, heart rate.
Right, the basics. Moving from that to sophisticated predictive health analytics. Companies are integrating AI right into the sensor platforms for real-time predictive analysis of your body's signals.
Yeah, looking at the broader landscape, you see platforms like the LMM from a company called Wearable Devices, Ltd., which stands for Limb Motion Monitoring. And they seem to be pivoting from, simple gesture control applications towards these high-value predictive health uses.
So it's not just about observing, it's about predicting.
Precisely. We're talking about AI-powered analysis of wrist-based muscle activity, for instance.
What could that tell you?
Things like identifying potential early biomarkers for health conditions, maybe even before symptoms appear.
Wow.
And also monitoring cognitive states, think focus, fatigue, stress, all in real time just from your wrist.
That's a big leap.
It really marks this crucial transition, doesn't it? From a product-centric model selling the gadget to a data and platform-centric business model.
Where the intelligence is the real product.
Exactly. The intelligence derived from these biosignals is arguably far more valuable long-term than the hardware itself. The wearable just becomes the data capture endpoint for what could be a high-margin recurring revenue service.
Okay, so bringing this all together, what does this actually mean for you listening right now? The applications of these strapped-in technologies, they seem to be spanning everywhere. Healthcare, productivity, our daily lives, really embedding computation deeper into everything we do.
Yeah, and from the insights our team gathered, the most profound applications, at least right now, seem undeniably in health. Those BCIs, for example, offering functional restoration for paralyzed patients, enabling regained control over limbs for essential daily tasks. That's a tangible path toward restored autonomy, independence. It's life-changing stuff.
Absolutely. And those predictive biosignal platforms you mentioned, pushing healthcare from just reacting to problems towards being proactive, aiming for early disease detection, continuous cognitive monitoring. Imagine getting an alert about a potential health concern before symptoms even show up.
That's the dream, isn't it? A real game changer for preventative medicine.
And the instructive haptics.
Well, they could accelerate physical therapy, virtually guiding patients through recovery exercises, maybe speeding up the relearning of fine motor skills. It's like having an invisible therapist guiding your movements 24/7.
Okay, so massive potential in health. What about for professionals in the workplace?
Well, the data our team reviewed reveals clear productivity and safety benefits there too. AI glasses, for instance, can provide hands-free information access for industrial workers.
Like seeing schematics overlaid.
Exactly. Or for surgeons, maybe accessing patient data or remote expert support while their hands are occupied.
Makes sense.
Right.
And the LMM platform you mentioned, tracking focus and fatigue.
That has direct applications in high-stakes jobs. Think aviation, long-haul trucking, heavy machinery operation.
Preventing accidents.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Alerting operators to fatigue before it becomes critical could genuinely enhance safety protocols and save lives.
And those instructive haptics again, could they help with job training?
Absolutely. They could significantly cut down training time for complex manual tasks like, say, delicate electronics assembly by providing accurate, real-time physical guidance. It's like hands-on learning, but maybe without the instructor needing to be physically there.
Okay, health, work. What about just for us, the average consumer? Lifestyle applications.
Well, for the mass market, the primary application of these new smart glasses, at least initially, seems to be as a wearable ambient AI assistant.
So, talking to your glasses.
Pretty much. A voice-first interface for things like real-time language translation or visual-based object identification.
What kind of flower is this?
Exactly. Or just answering general questions, all without needing to pull out your smartphone every single time.
Convenience, then. And the analysis also highlighted the effortless capture of first-person photos and videos, right? For social sharing.
Oh, that's a huge driver for adoption, undoubtedly. Sharing your perspective, literally.
Or thinking about Xiaomi's approach that integrated lifestyle control. Making QR code payments, managing your smart home devices, all directly through the glasses.
Yeah, it makes managing your digital and physical world feel incredibly seamless. Less friction.
Okay, this is all fascinating stuff. And if you, listening, are finding this insightful, please do take a moment to like this video. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to Tomorrow Unveiled, and maybe hit that notification bell so you never miss an update on the future.
And if you're listening on a podcast service, perhaps Apple Podcasts or Spotify, we'd be incredibly grateful if you could leave us a rating and a review for Tomorrow Unveiled. It really does help us reach new listeners.
It really does. Okay, but of course, with such rapid advancement, there have to be challenges, right? Downsides. Our research team definitely highlighted some crucial concerns. Privacy, security, even just the basics of getting us to wear these things every day.
Yes, this brings up a really critical point. The proliferation of these camera-equipped smart glasses introduces what our analysis actually termed the bystander problem.
The bystander problem.
Yeah, that subtle LED light that might indicate recording. It's often just not sufficient notification for public recording. It effectively shifts the burden of privacy onto the bystander, onto you if someone is wearing these near you. It's a fundamental power imbalance, really.
And here's where, for me, it gets really complex. The research indicates companies are quite explicitly stating that visual data captured by the glasses, including images of non-consenting bystanders, will be stored and used to train their AI models.
Right, to make the AI better.
Which raises these profound questions about data ownership and, well, the right to not be turned into training data without your knowledge or consent. It's a conversation we absolutely need to be having as these devices become more common.
And it doesn't seem like an oversight, does it? The insights our team gathered suggest this might be a deliberate strategy, a strategy of normalization.
Normalization.
Yeah, aiming to shift social norms around public surveillance by wrapping these potentially invasive technologies in, fashionable forms. Oakley partnerships, stylish designs.
Well, you look cool.
Exactly. The goal, it kind of seems, is to make public recording and data collection feel cool or normal before it can be effectively addressed by, well, slower moving legislation or social pushback.
That's a sobering thought.
Yeah.
And beyond privacy, what about security? This strapped-in ecosystem, it must create more ways for things to go wrong.
Oh, absolutely. A much wider attack surface for cyber threats. Data is potentially vulnerable at multiple points, transmitting from the wearable to your phone, from the phone to the cloud, and then sitting within cloud servers.
And are these things even secure?
Well, what's more, our research suggests many of these new devices might currently lack even basic, robust security measures we'd expect elsewhere.
Yikes.
And what's particularly alarming is the emergence of completely novel threat vectors. The analysis pointed to one study called Smart Attack, I believe. It showed how a smartwatch's microphone could actually exfiltrate data from a secure, supposedly air-gapped computer system using covert ultrasonic signals. Imperceptible to humans, but the microphone picks them up. It just demonstrates how these always-on sensors can potentially be co-opted for sophisticated espionage, even in highly protected environments.
Okay, so privacy and security are huge. But what about just using them, the practical side.
Right. Beyond the deep technical hurdles, there are definitely practical challenges to mass adoption. Voice control, for example. It feels natural for some simple tasks, sure, but it can be slow, sometimes imprecise, and frankly, socially awkward for complex interactions in public.
Yeah, I can't imagine debugging code with my voice in a cafe.
Exactly. And battery life. Despite the improvements we mentioned, it remains a key constraint for true all-day heavy use. That will continue to be a primary battleground for competitors, no doubt.
And the look.
And definitely the look. The analysis consistently points to the fashion factor. Overcoming the dork factor, as some call it, is absolutely essential for mass market social acceptance.
So aesthetics are as important as algorithms.
For these devices, maybe even more so initially, people have to want to wear them first.
Okay, so looking ahead then, wrapping this up. The research team's analysis seems to reveal, maybe 3 overarching trends that will define this market in the coming years.
Yeah, that's a good summary. First, that AI glasses war we talked about, it really does seem like the new smartphone war. Interaction moving from the hand to the face. Second, ecosystem integration is proving to be the ultimate moat. Success seems tied to the strength of the surrounding network, whether that's a social graph like Meta's or a huge hardware ecosystem like Xiaomi's.
Makes sense.
And third,
the value chain is shifting dramatically, moving up the stack, creating that sensor-to-insight pipeline. The real long-term value, it seems, is migrating from the physical hardware itself to these AI-powered platforms that turn raw biosensor data into those predictive, actionable insights we discussed.
And the insights suggest we can expect even more products soon from the big players.
Definitely. Google, Snap, Apple. Expect more activity in the next, say, 12 to 24 months. That'll undoubtedly intensify competition.
But
this will likely be met with increased regulatory scrutiny, particularly around those tricky areas: bystander consent, the use of public data for AI training.
which could lead to?
Probably market bifurcation, different rules or standards emerging in different regions, creating distinct market segments with varying levels of features or data practices.
Okay, and the most thought-provoking insight from the analysis.
For me, it's the idea that this current generation of screenless or minimal screen AI glasses should perhaps be viewed as a crucial transitional form factor.
Transitional, like a stepping stone.
Exactly, almost like a Trojan horse for true full display augmented reality down the line.
Ah, okay. So what does that really mean for us then?
It means these AI glasses are kind of de-risking the eventual, much more ambitious launch of full AR glasses.
Oh, so?
Well, they're conditioning the market, getting us used to wearing tech on our faces. They're building out the foundational AI infrastructure needed for AR, and they're solving some of those critical human factor problems like battery, comfort, style today.
Paving the way?
Paving the way for the true ambient computing revolution of tomorrow. We're not just wearing technology anymore, we're becoming more integrated with it.
Which, as you said, raises these profound questions about what it even means to be human in this emerging symbiosis. What implications do you see, listening now, for our daily lives?
It's a lot to think about.
It really is. We've taken a real deep dive today into this strapped-in world of wearable tech. From the AI glasses battle to those groundbreaking BCIs, Instructive Haptics, predictive biosignals.
We've seen how these technologies are starting to revolutionize healthcare, boost productivity, transform consumer lifestyles.
While also forcing us to wrestle with these critical questions of privacy, security, and just basic social acceptance.
It feels like we're at a genuine inflection point.
I agree. We'd love to hear your thoughts on all this. Whether you're on YouTube or your favorite podcast app, please leave a comment and let us know what you think about wearable tech and this idea of human augmentation. And one last reminder, if you found Tomorrow Unveiled insightful today, please like the video, subscribe, turn on notifications on YouTube.
Or if you're on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, a rating and review for Tomorrow Unveiled would be fantastic. It genuinely helps others discover the show.
Thank you so much for joining us on Tomorrow Unveiled. We'll be back next time with another deep dive into the future.